Da da da! What's my good cheer? Welcome, everybody. Let's give YouTube a couple of minutes to get those notifications out. In the meantime, if you've never met me before, hi, I'm Cindy. I explore the inside and the outside. And I explore deeply into the inside. And, I am so grateful for that job that takes me away from that, and I'm looking forward because I know to the limits of where I can go. And because I find what I do so interesting that I could just be in it. And the next thing you know, right, my whole day is over connecting to the outside, right? And that saying connecting to the outside, that doesn't mean tree hugging, right? Though it could be because I do it myself, but it's in that grounding of something else, something other than those lessons or those things that we're digging deep in, because we have these goals and we have these dreams, and right, and so we become compulsed about that. And we should, right, if they are goals and dreams, and they're goals and dreams that for most people might seem unattainable, but because you really believe in yourself, right? You really believe in what you're doing or what it can do to maybe even help others or just even help yourself. And this is how, well, it's not how it started for me. It started in putting the roof over my head, right? Coming here onto YouTube 10 years ago, thought I was going to be a YouTube superstar, right? I thought my urban exploration and my outdoor explorers and my bushcraft series, that would be the trick for me. But I didn't have that natural talent. What I did have is that creativity of thought in that creation of what I was doing, which, if you look at it in that perspective, I think it's so killer, right? When you look at some middle-aged woman, because when I started this, I was probably middle-aged, right? And just watching that gumption and that determination to create the best life for herself as she could in the circumstances that she was in. And if you've known me for any length of time, you know it has been a bit of a struggle, but it's a bit of a struggle for all of us. And like I said, if it's a dream, it's our goals, we have to put that extra in, right? And isn't it amazing that what I'm putting the extra in is something that I find so interesting, that it benefits me in my own life. And that's where I was going to go with that. It didn't start that way, but now it's everything. This is my movement, is what it is. Because in my belief and in the faith that I have in myself, I know for myself that those parts of me that I'm just starting to get to appreciate, to connect with, to trust. Maybe I'm going to take that trust back because, in the end, being the person that I was in my own hypervigilance and being a highly sensitive, sometimes we put all our trust into ourselves. But again, there's no point in having that trust in there if that basic human knowledge is not there to guide you in the process, because right, I am grounding in the real world. I'm a realist. I truly am, but I understand also that there is more to this than what I'm seeing. But what I'm seeing, I believe, is enough, because I sense it out through my comfortableness in the process, in the evidence for myself that I can achieve my goals and my dreams, right? Just even if it's just in those small basic needs, right? Like getting a new computer and getting a new car, right? For you, it's going to be something else. And for you, that might be pocket change. And for another person, it could be everything. We're all in the same storm, all of us, but some of us are clinging to logs in the middle of the ocean. Some of us are, right, putting to work to get that fish on board in the fishing boat. Some of us are with the Coast Guard. Some of us are dancing the night away on a cruise ship. right? We have to understand that and appreciate that, and just appreciate of where we are in this moment, right? I'm grateful for that job that puts the roof over my head, but I'm just as grateful, if not more, to be done with my work week. I'm done with my work week, and now I'll dive a little bit even more, even though I do delve every day, right? It is my movement, and that's where I choose to be, and that's where I feel comfortable, and that's where I feel that those curiosities that I have are being filled, right? And it's going to serve me well. I believe for myself that those other parts of me are coming back, and oh my goodness, it would be so amazing if I could be a part of that story. Cindy could be a part of that story, right? Of that movement that I'm not just doing for myself, but doing within my own family, because there is a lot of movement in my family. Some of it aware, some of it no, not, right? We're all in the same storm. But I do believe that if I put this work that I'm enjoying, this work that's benefiting Cindy, benefiting the human being in me, and surprisingly, those are the parts of me that right? I thought it was a one man show, in all honesty. But to recognize that it is a community effort, and sometimes that community is just right here, right? And sometimes it has to be right here, because I could be everywheres. I find everything so curious that I could be everywheres. So it's important for me to ground in the things that calm my system down, make me happy, right? Catch my curiosity, make me want to stay in those topics, and want me and make me to want to keep coming back and sharing what I'm doing. Okay, you guys, couple of minutes. First perspective, just a couple of minutes. First thing that comes to my mind in this one of 54 powerful words that I have in my hand here. And then I'm off to work. Last day that puts the roof over my head. Let's have a sip of my coffee, because it's probably my last sip before I pour it down the sink. Mm, I do make a good cup of coffee. Okay, you guys, here we go. Oh, you guys, you're not going to believe this. I think this is the third time we've grabbed this card in the past 2 weeks even. I can't believe it. I am in shock that this card has popped up again. That's the balance of it, right? Having those things to ground in, having hobbies, and having goals and dreams that we can work towards. It helps to keep us focused on those few things, not just one thing, because one thing it will become a compulsion, right? But if you have a few things that when you feel that you've gotten too much of this, and I'm staring at the right, too much, heavy in the head, that you have something else. You have the gardening, you can go bike riding, you can go for a walk, you could read a book, you can, right? But lots of us, we don't choose that, which is what's going on with the world. What's Donald Trump doing? What's Elon Musk doing? Right? Who's pushing the red button? Who's saying what about who? Where can I stick my nose where it doesn't belong? Right? And even if you're sticking your nose in what's belong, people think that you're just being nosy, but it's not being nosy. It's needing to know what's going on. It's in our hypervigilance and needing to be feeling safe, right? So sometimes these things that we have in our lives are meant to ground us, to make it so we don't become focused, we don't become compulsed on things that are not good for us. And that keeps us in that balance. It keeps us in balance. Not like the hiccups and the wrenches thrown into the engines, and and the boulders in the middle of the sidewalk. We're not going to trip over any of that. We are. But if we have a better sense of us, if we have a few tools around our belt, right? That if we picked up a few things along the way, that we'll be able to better handle those situations, or at the very least, be able to get ourselves out of that mental or emotional state of stumbling over those hiccups, those things that can trip us up so much, like that boulder you tripped over fell flat on your face. But that wasn't the problem. You do that all the time. But it was the 10 people that were standing around you when you did it. And that's what you become compulsed about, right? Life is life, and we're going to trip ourselves up all the time. But we get a little funny on some of these topics that we delve into. Me myself, I have to pull myself away from them, right? And if I find that it becomes too easy, then I add a little something more onto the plate, right? A little something more. Sometimes it's an entire pivot. I've done that too. But that's all going to be in our choices. That's crazy, you guys. In the past 2 weeks, you guys have been here with me. We've pulled this card like 3 times. What is it trying to say for you in your life, right? If this is coming across your path, what does balance look like to you? What would make it so that emotionally, mentally, physically, financially, your health wise, right? What does balance look like to you, and what can you contribute to that? And maybe it's a topic to actually take into contemplation. Maybe this is what I'm thinking about when I'm on the bus, wondering why this has come across our past 3 times, right? Does it say, Cindy, you're doing a good job? Or Cindy, you're right off the rocker? Or Cindy, right? Slow down. Because sometimes that's all you need is just enough just to slow down. And if you slow down, lots of times those answers come to you. That creativity comes to you. That new interest comes to you. Right? Okay, you guys. I've got to run off to work. I got a bus to catch. I am done. No, I'm not done. This is Monday. I am done with my work week and the job that puts the roof over my head, but I will be back tomorrow. Not sure what we'll be talking about. Maybe we'll pull a card. Maybe it'll be that word balance again. You never know with me. You guys have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.